Hello and welcome to Align for Success. This is normally the 11:11 show, but today it's 11:30. Why? Because life happens, but here I am. I'm your friend, Deborah Deras, speaker, author, marketing consultant, and your mindset for success facilitator this morning because I have a little training on mindset. Why am I doing a training on mindset? Because we are living in a world where there is a lot of intensity. And when there's a lot of intensity, it can affect us, especially when we're sensitive. Even if you're not sensitive, if you're human, if you have a pulse, if you have a heart, everything that is happening in the world, whether it's, anything that's going on with injustice or with the pandemic, the plague that we're trying to keep alive from, all of this can weigh down, even if we're not even aware of it, because it's not just our conscious mind, it could be at our subconscious mind underneath the surface. So today, usually I do a meditation, but we already did that at 11:11, didn't you? Didn't you while you're waiting for me? So what I'm going to do today is a little talk. I left my notes. Oh, well, it's in my head. My mindset is in my head, all the notes. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Nice to see you. Great to have you here. By the way, for those of you that are new, haven't been on the Align for Success show, please share a comment so I can shout you out because I really appreciate your being here. And I'm doing this particularly for you. So today I'm going to do a mindset little mini talk. Because this is motivation, inspiration, and of course, activation to inspire you to get into action. Because there was a time during the quarantine when I was sick, and I wasn't sick with COVID. I was sick with some crazy rash allergy thing, and it was just 3 weeks of hell. And now that I'm feeling better, it is my responsibility to be of service to help you, to go whatever you're going through, to be available for you. So, cool. So what we're going to be talking about today is mindset for success. So there's 3 tools and tips that I'm going to give you. You can take notes or you don't have to take notes because this video, if you're watching on Facebook Live, will stay here on my stream. Or you could get all the Align for Success videos. They're hosted on my YouTube channel, which is DeborahDerasLive.com. Where is it? It's at DeborahDerasLive.com. So I will put that in the notes so you can have it. If you wouldn't mind, those of you that are listening, sharing this stream with the masses so that they can get in on the goodness, because there's so much negativity, there's so much bad news that we want to be able to share the light and give the good news. Yes? Yes or yes? For sure, yes. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about mindset. And the reason we're going to talk about mindset, like I said in the beginning, is because there's so much stress in 2020. They said 2020, it's all about you have clear vision. Oh yeah, we have clear vision, all right. We see all the things that are out of alignment, right? And there's so much that we feel like we cannot control. We can't control our government. We can't control the rules. We can't control the laws. We can't control the curfews. We can't control the disease or when the vaccine is going to be available. And even if it is available, do we want to take it, right? So that's a whole thing, right? But what can we control? So in mindset coaching, we are taught that the quality of our life is based on the quality of our questions, okay? I'm going to say it again. The quality of our life is based on the quality of our questions. So you want to ask questions that are going to put your brain searching into the field of possibility. And why is that? So our brain is just like a computer. Whatever you type in Google, you're going to get. So if you type in all the bad news of the day, which is basically just news, news of the day. My reverend says that the news is the prayer list for the day, right? So whatever we type in is what we're going to get out. So if we are focused, our energy and our attention on what we can't control, guess what we're going to feel? Powerless. We are going to feel like a victim. One of my clients yesterday was coaching him on his new business that he's launching, because I do marketing consulting as well as NLP. And he said to me, that when he was in school, that he had this football thing, and he was a victim of this incident that happened when he was a football player. And I was like, I want to challenge you to reframe the way you're speaking. Okay. So step one in Mindset for Success is, and I'm going to write it in the comments, is focusing. So number one, we're focusing on what we can control, and that is our conversations with ourselves, which could be our thoughts, right? Our conversations with ourselves. Why do you think for 2 months I've been leading you with meditations for Align for Success? 1, because it feels good, we're peaceful. 2, because I want you to get the ability to slow down the rate of your thoughts. Remember when I was doing the meditation and I say, imagine your thoughts are like clouds in the sky, going in one ear and out the other. Ooh la la, it was so relaxing. And it wasn't just to relax you, it was to train you. I am your mindset trainer, right? So my goal is for you to be able to choose, you're welcome, Christopher, to choose what you are typing into that search engine. Because if your thought is, or if your conversation with yourself is, oh my God, this is just going to ruin my career. Oh my God, everyone's just going to get sick, right? Or whatever it is. So like for me, and I'm a mindset trainer, I'm a mindset expert, I'm master results coach, I have a spiritual counseling license, I motivational speaking, all this stuff. And still, these negative thoughts come up. Why? Because we're all human. And because you're human, it's natural, especially because we're all connected with the collective consciousness, that we are going to feel the negativity that's all around us. But guess what? We don't have control over anyone except ourselves, okay? So we have control over ourselves. So what I do when these negative thoughts come up, and let me tell you, lately, I've been waking up at 4:44 a.m. And I've been like going on YouTube, and I'm like, Deborah, do not when you're in a place of receptivity, because when you're sleeping, you're in a place of, alpha, beta, theta, you're like delta, right? So you're super receptive to whatever messages are going in. So it's so important not to let input come in. And when these conversations come up in your mind of worst case scenario of, oh no, what if this happens with the economy? What if this happens with the election? What if this happens with the virus? What if this, and it just, the what if question is not serving us, right? So the quality of our lives is the quality of our questions. So what we are going to do now, I invite you, you don't have to, but I invite you to my party of possibility, because that's where we're going to be able to focus on what's important, which is, I believe, your soul's contract, what you are here to do in this world. Because eventually the economy is going to get better. Eventually the plague is going to pass. Eventually everything. But during these times of challenge, during these times of expansion, of transmutation, of revolution, of up leveling of consciousness, is your ability to really, I'm thinking like I'm in boot camp for mindset. It's really your ability to go deeper within yourself and to train your mind to say, even stop it. Before I was gentle with myself and I'm like, Debbie, sweetheart, we're not on the program. And now I'm like, stop it. Stop it. And luckily I have people in my life that are tuned in, tapped in, turned on. So they know, they are in alignment. So they're like, wait a minute, Deborah, what kind of conversation is that? So when you have a thought that is potentially taking you down the road of worst case scenario, what I want you to do, and you don't have to say stop, you could say pause, or you could say freeze. Let's do that. That sounds more gentle. Stop sounds punitive. Let's make it like a game, right? Remember when you were young, those of you in my generation, we used to play games, and we used to play like freeze tag and be like, freeze. So freeze. What is this worst case scenario that you're taking me to? And let's flip the script and let's ask a different question. So how are you going to ask powerful questions? You're going to ask, what is the possibility of this happening in my career? Like I said that I'm an international speaker. I say this every week. I had gigs internationally, right? And I'm like, okay, well, what is the possibility of me speaking from my home with my plants, never leaving, right? And I asked that possibility, and now I'm like totally full for July. In fact, today I have a speaking gig at 1:00, nonstop, right? So ask yourself, what is the possibility of this in my career? What is the possibility of even having even more vital health? Because you know what I decided to do? Before I was like, oh, I should eat healthy, I should exercise. And now I'm like, this is vital for my immune system health. Instead of running away from plague and sickness, I need to run toward health and wellness. And that's what we learn from law of attraction and quantum physics. Instead of focusing on what we're running away from, let's focus on what we're running to. Put your energy in your conversations of where you want to go. So instead of worst case scenario, we freeze, and then we go to best case scenario. And you can even use, and this is from the book Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. We love Abraham, don't we? Us manifestation people. And they say, use the question, wouldn't it be nice if? So wouldn't it be nice if during the time of the pandemic, I get in even better shape? Why? Because I'm cooking my own meals. I'm eating from home. I have imperfect produce delivering vegetables to my door. I now have a spin bike and can do Peloton anytime, anywhere, all day long. Right? What if I'm in better shape? What if my immune system is even better? What if my business is even better? What if my bank account is even better? What if my relationships are even better because I'm not distracted by distractions? So I'm not trying to take you to my best case scenario with me, but why not? What's your alternative? To watch the news and be in fear, lack, and limitation? Oh, I'm sure that's exactly where the people that are, that's where the negativity and a lot of systems that are trying to hold on would like you to be. They would like you to be in fear, right? They would like you to be in lack. They would like you to be in scarcity, all fear, all the time. But we're not on that program, right? We freeze and we say, just ask yourself, where is my attention? And that's the purpose of meditation. Because when we do the meditation, we notice that our thoughts are wandering. Meditation is not to have your thoughts still and to have zero thought. Meditation is to train you to be aware of your thoughts, because when you're aware of something, you can change it, you can transmute it. Awareness gives you empowerment. It's the first chapter of my book, Align for Success, awareness. Because when you're aware, oh my God, no wonder I don't feel well, because I've been having this negative self-talk at scarcity. I freeze, and now I'm in possibility. Not scarcity, possibility. That's where I'm living. That's where I'm breathing. That's where I'm operating from. Okay? So that's number one. Be aware. Let's write. Can you write it down, Marion, in the comments? Number one is be aware of the conversations you're having with yourself. If they're not at possibility, freeze, and then bring yourself over to possibility and leave scarcity for the rest of the world, right? Because we're not about that life. Why? Because when we align for success, we're not about us and our little lives. We're about being of service. We're about transforming the world with our unique talents, gifts, and abilities. And when we do that, we're automatically abundantly paid to do what we love. That is what my soul's contract is, to help you to realize that, right? Okay, so number two is, I'm so glad that I remember, because I wrote notes, but then I love my notes. So the number two is the conversations that you have with other people, right? So it's really interesting during this time of pandemic, because I'm talking to people that I didn't used to talk to on a daily basis. Like there's certain people that just resonate right now during this time that I'm talking to. I use Marco Polo, so we do video chats and we give each other updates. There's like about 5 people that I'm in regular contact with. And our conversations are in a place of gratitude. Our conversations are in a place of possibility. Like I have a friend that was laid off right before the pandemic, and it's really hard to interview because nobody's hiring right now. But still, every conversation I have with her is bringing her. She's like, oh, and I always wanted to start my business, and now I'm doing my business plan. So me as her friend, bringing her in possibilities, and her as my friend, because I was really having a hard time being isolated and alone with no humans for 45 days. The first 45 days I was with no one. It's really, as an extrovert person, hurt my soul. Now I'm really getting used to being alone. Kind of like it. It's kind of nice. I love myself. But it was hard. So the conversation. So when you notice you're talking to people and the conversation is going to scarcity, that's when you freeze and redirect the conversation. You can just reframe it. So maybe somebody's complaining, kvetching, like I say, or they're talking about all the worst case scenarios. Then it's up to you. You are the one that's in control of your conversations. You are at choice, right? So then you could say, oh, did you hear basketball is going to start again? Or did you hear that they're going to start doing virtual concerts online? Or did you hear that they're going to start doing drive-in movie theaters again? How cool. Or did you know I just started a home theater at my house and we're going to have backyard barbecues, social distance spacing, you can come up, whatever. Change the conversation, because the conversations in your head, you're aware of them, you change them, but then your conversations with others, you could just say to them, you know what? I can't buy into that conspiracy theory program. A certain friend I can't talk to right now because there's a conspiracy about everything, right? I'm like, okay, 5G. Okay, Bill Gates, look, I can't talk to them right now, right? So I'm like, okay. And I've had to have people that I just didn't talk to because of their vibration. So it's really important now more than ever. We're building our immune system with, fruits, vegetables, water, exercise, all the things that we're doing to keep our body physically. But mentally, we need to keep our immune system high. How are we going to do that? Through the conversations we allow into our being. Does that make sense? You picking up what I'm throwing down? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? You with me? You with me? You with me? Okay. Oh, good. Okay. So you said yes. So number one, write in the comments, what was number one? Be aware of conversations with who? Self. Right? Number two is be mindful of conversations with who? Others. Conversations with others. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your vibration high by redirecting conversations back to possibility, back to possibility, back to possibility, right? Then number three, and this is so important, okay? Number three is be very mindful of the input you receive. And when I say input, when you receive, there's output, what we put out to the world. And I don't know if you can tell, I try to put positive energy out to the world. If I have a negative thought and I would never post it on Facebook because I'm like, oh no, I don't want to contribute to the scarcity that's already there in the collective consciousness, right? Not that I'm being Pollyanna or seeing the world with rose-colored glasses, but I want to add and contribute and be a beneficial presence like I know you do. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, right? Say, oh my God, I'm so worried about this, I'm so worried about that, right? So, it's okay to express our emotions. Like I always say, emotions are energy in motion. I have a wonderful therapist. Her name is Shauna Mayer, and she works with me on processing my emotions, and I get it out with her. But I don't need to get it out with my friends in the world. So be careful of the input. What is input? It's the TV you watch, how much TV you're watching, the movies you watch. It is the podcast or radio you listen to, all this stuff you take in. So this is a bad idea. I don't know if I was on Amazon Prime or Netflix, but I was like, I saw this movie and I'm like, oh, Cuba Gooding Jr., I love him. He's so sweet. I remember when I met him, he was so nice. So I go to watch this movie and it's literally about a dystopian society in the future where there's a plague that hits and the government is being oppressive and people are being segregated and put in jail when their family members have the plague. And I literally had a nightmare that night. And my mom was in the dream and it was just like so scary. I'm like, okay, Deborah, No dystopian plague movies for you. And I usually don't watch those kind of movies. So I watch very tiny bit of news. In fact, no news. I just will listen to my governor or listen to my mayor and get information from them, or not even listen to them. I'll just go to the LA County Instagram, get the cliff notes of what can I do, what can I not do, where can I go, where can I not go, and that's it. Right? But it's so important that we pour in positive things. Like I'm going to be doing, starting in a couple of weeks, a 7-day activation challenge to inspire you to fulfill your dreams. So do that. Like I'm doing, Tony Robbins has a challenge where every day you do something. I'm listening to Panache Desai. He's got motivational talks. I'm listening to Emmanuel Dagger. He does meditations. So I'm listening tons of webinars. Like every day I'm learning one thing about marketing. Like yesterday I learned about funnels. The day before that I learned about Zoom. The day before that I learned about webinars. The day before, like every day, ask yourself with the input, what can I learn today? So what can I listen to that I can learn? Instead of the mediocrity will always challenge excellence, says Dr. Michael Beckwith. And mediocrity will just go at the common denominator and let's just watch the news and stay low vibration. People that are high vibration, which you are because you're attracted to align for success, are focused on what can I learn? They're focused on how can I evolve, right? So that's a level up from learning. So learning is getting information. Evolving is transforming your consciousness, which is the sum total of your thoughts. So you're operating at a higher level. And if you want to achieve peak performance, if you want to align for success, you have to operate on the highest level you can, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Yes? So how can I evolve? Like what podcast? I have a Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. You can listen to it at Deborah Deras Live. Just the same website that my YouTube channel, where this is, where the Align for Success recordings are, is the same website that you can get the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. So you can ask yourself, what can I listen to that's going to help me learn? You know what's a good podcast besides mine? Lewis Howes. Have you heard of him? He always has the most profound speakers on his show. I also love Ursula Menches. She does Double Your Sales Now. I've been on that podcast. So anyway, think about it. What can I learn today? How can I evolve today? And you could even ask yourself, how can I get even more physically motivated today? So I've been listening to a lot of Peloton YouTube videos. I don't have the Peloton bike. I'm not going to spend $2,500, but I spent like $197 and got a little bike. And I'm listening to all these people, and it's the people that are exercising on a regular basis have great energy. Why? It's scientific. Endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, right? All of the oxytocin that's running through your veins when you are working up a sweat, right? So you can say, how can I move my body today and listen to people that will inspire me to exercise? Not as something I have to do, but it's something I get to do because I want to feel good, right? Because news, when we're watching news, it checks us out. It doesn't tune us in, right? And if you're wanting to make a pivot in your business and start something new, or say you want to add a passive stream of income, or say you want to expand in your current business, in order for you to have that creative space, we need to unclutter all of the negative energy of lack, limitation, fear, scarcity, so that we can be available for what? The divine downloads. Those divine downloads that are going to pour into our being when we're awake, aligned, and available to receive them, right? Okay, so I know we got to go to work. We all do. I'm going to do a webinar in a minute, but I want to review, okay? So what are the 3 things that we can do to have our mindset for success? I want you guys to answer for me. Okay, so the first one, conversations with who? And then the second one, conversations with who? And then the third one is the input, right? It's the input. It's what we're listening to. Yes, so conversations with self, conversations with others, and then the input. Yes, Yes, you guys are getting it. You're picking up what I'm throwing down. Oh, Shauna's here, my coach. I was talking about her. I was listening to her yesterday. So true, Deb. When we are clear, we are open to receive more abundance. Yes, I have been so open since I started meditating on a not just a regular basis, but on a like 2 to 3 times a day basis, because everything that I'm talking to you about, you know, you need to have extra right now because there's extra stress in the world. There really is. I'm not lying to you and saying that there isn't extra stress. There is a lot of intensity. Let's not call it stress, but a lot of intensity that's happening right now. So we need extra meditation, extra motivation, extra inspiration. So I want to let you know I'm going to be giving you, it's coming up, not yet, but in July, we're going to do a 7-day challenge where I'm going to be giving you tools and coaching every day. It's going to be in like a private Facebook group. So I'll be letting you know about that. But how I let you know about everything is I have a newsletter. So make sure that you join my newsletter list. It's just deborahderas.com. And you sign up for my newsletter and I will invite you. And also invite you here. So if you don't like email newsletters, then you don't have to do that. Another thing I wanted to mention to you, just another announcement, if you want more yummy information, is I'm doing a webinar Wednesday, July 1st for Webinar Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on how to deliver dynamic and captivating webinars, ooh la la, / virtual presentations. My speaking coach was like, call them virtual presentations, not webinars. I'm like, all right, I will. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the basics, the logistics of technology, but I'm also going to teach you how to use different features on Zoom, from polls to engagement features and breakout sessions, blah, 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 but also how to connect with people when you're on camera. So for those of you that are thinking about, you know, getting out there to the world, definitely what I'm doing right now, live streaming, is here to stay. It's going to grow. And whatever project, whatever purpose that you have in the world, that's your soul's contract, you need to let people know about it. And the best way to let people know is video. So I want to see you out there to be visible, and I'm here to support you with that. So in order to register, go to deborahderas.com/webinars. There is a $20 discount. It's webinar 2020 for you as my loyal Aligned for Success people. And I'd love to see you Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. All right. So I'm so grateful. I'm so glad we got to spend this time together. I just adore you. I appreciate you. And I'm here to support you to align for success. So remember, when your thoughts take you to scarcity, freeze, and then come over to where? Possibility, possibility, possibility. And then how do you get to possibility? You change your question. So scarcity says, why is this happening to me? I'm a victim. And possibility says, what are the possibilities here? What are the options here? What are, and you may not know, and that's where you allow the downloads to come in. How did the downloads come in? Meditation. By the way, you could always go back to my YouTube channel and watch the meditation that we did, since we didn't meditate today and you're like, girl, I need to meditate. You could just go to deborahderaslive.com and you can rewatch the ones I did, or there's lots of meditations online, but feel free. It's free. It's on my YouTube channel. Okay. So thank you for letting me be of service. Is there any questions? If there are any questions, put them in the comments. If there are not any questions, I want to say, I know you have many choices to align for success. Do you? But thank you for flying with Deborah Deras. You're now free to roam about the cabin and have a fantastic day aligned for success. And remember, with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Because we live in possibility. Yes? Okay. Ciao. Ciao.